Just goes to show you how this fire has, affected so many people. We talk about police and fire, but how about the people who worked at the Coesit Inn who saw what was going on across the street and the victims walking across the street looking for some help.
Right.
Target 12 investigator Tim White is here. You know, Tim, when something like this happens, you always hear, what are the lessons learned? What can we do to prevent something like this from happening again?
Yeah, and lawmakers jumped into action. And Mike, when the Comprehensive Fire Safety Act was passed, it was billed as the toughest in the nation. And despite some early calls to repeal some of it, we found in the 2 decades since the law was signed, it has remained largely untouched. 5 months after the Station nightclub tragedy, state lawmakers completely overhauled the state's fire code.
It's a day that brings back all the memories of that terrible, terrible tragedy and all the emotions that come with that.
The legislation is a phone book of changes, but some included requiring sprinkler systems in most places of assembly of 150 people or more, better exit signage, including at the floor level for some buildings if people are crawling through a smoke-filled room, more stringent fire alarm requirements, and many say the biggest change.
They got rid of the thing they needed to get rid of the most was the grandfather clause.
State Fire Marshal Tim McLaughlin says the law no longer gave older buildings a pass and forced them to get up to code.
And this state is probably the safest state in the country right now.
The safest state in the country.
In the country.
The changes were met with resistance from some business owners who complained putting in sprinkler systems in an old building was crushingly expensive. But McLaughlin says had the law been in effect in February 2003, the Station nightclub would have had one.
That place had sprinklers, Tim. You and I'd be having it. We might be having a conversation, but it would be a different conversation today. There may have been some injuries, but it wouldn't have been as catastrophic as it was.
The law also empowered the fire marshal's office itself, allowing them to issue violations and fines. They can also now serve a search warrant on a building they have been refused access to inspect.
I think it gave the office some teeth that we didn't have at the time.
Since the new law went into effect, the state fire marshal's office has conducted more than 1,400 inspections, mostly on state licensed facilities. They've also performed 414 surprise inspections of nightclubs, resulting in $25,000 in fines. Those inspections have been on hold since the pandemic, but McLaughlin says they are starting back up again this year.
Fair warning, at some point you're probably going to see our office with the local in whatever community you're in. We're going to be back out there at making sure that everybody's compliant.
For McLaughlin, the tragedy in West Warwick is personal and acknowledges it affects how he approaches his job.
There was 2 people in my family that perished in that fire, so it was very personal. I saw what it did I saw personally what it did to families, and there was 100 of them, and the extended families and friends and everything. So it was tough. It was a really tough time, and you never forget it.
Now, Mike, the fire code was updated in 2012 to give businesses a little bit more flexibility, like increasing certain square footage before it triggered some of these fire codes. But again, the law, since it passed 20 years ago, has remained largely intact.
All right, Tim, thank you very much for that story. We're going to be here all night long bringing you reports. For now, let's send it back to the studio, Kim.
All right, Mike and Tim, live for us in West Warwick. Thank you so much. And our Station Fire Remembrance 20 years later continues online. Right now on WPRI.com, we have a timeline of what happened the night of February 20th, 2003, as well as a memorial photo gallery of the victims and a link to the Rhode Island Foundation's Station Nightclub Fire Children's Scholarship Fund.